Hello, children. It is now time for the next chapter in our story, God's Special Messenger. God's special messenger's name was Ellen Gold White. She was born in 1827 and she died in 1915. This chapter is called Who Took Out the Bolt? But before we begin our story today, let's sing our theme song together, Jesus Wants Me for a Sunbeam. I don't know why I feel so strange about starting our trip tonight, Elder White told his wife as he paced back and forth with a worried look on his face. I wish we didn't have to go, but we need to be in Wisconsin for the appointment I made. James and Ellen White had been attending some meetings, and they were staying with someone who lived close to the train station. Now it was time to leave and start traveling on to their next meeting. Before going to the train station, everyone knelt and prayed that Jesus would give the Whites a safe trip. I'm sure that Jesus is going to take care of us, Elder White said as they stood up. Someone helped the Whites carry their things to the train and made sure that they had comfortable seats in what was called a sleeping car. But Mrs. White didn't feel comfortable at all in the sleeping car. James, I can't stay in this car. I must get out of here, she said as she stood up. So they went to the next car behind that one and got seats in it. Mrs. White usually took her bonnet off and put her things away as soon as they started a trip. But this time, she kept holding her things on her lap and she left her bonnet on. I don't feel at home in this train, she said to her husband. Soon the train was moving quickly down the track, but suddenly there was a terrible jolt. Then there was crashing sounds, and they heard people screaming and crying for help. When the Whites looked out, they could hardly believe what they saw. The train's engine had been thrown off the track, and it had turned over. The baggage car, where Elder White's trunk full of books had been put, was standing right side up beside the tracks. Other cars were crushed and broken. The seat in the sleeping car where the Whites sat at first was crushed, but the car in which they were riding at the time of the wreck was not damaged at all. Elder White quickly carried his wife over the wet, soggy ground. and through a stream to a safe place. Then he hired a horse and buggy, and soon they were knocking on the door of the home they had just left a little while before. As they told the story of what had happened, everyone thanked Jesus for taking care of them. When Elder White went to see the wreck the next morning, he learned that an ox had laid on the track, and that was what caused the accident. Elder White was surprised that the car in which he and his wife had been riding was separate from the rest of the train. The link and bolt that had held their car to the others were not broken. And the bolt and safety chain were lying on the rear platform of the wrecked sleeping car, which was in front of their car. It looked as though someone had carefully placed them there after separating their car from the rest of the train. When the brakeman said that he hadn't noticed them, Elder White knew that an angel must have unhooked their car from the others, and he thanked Jesus. By evening, the tracks were clear and the trains were running as usual. So once more, the Whites were on their way. Their lives had been spared, their books were safe, and they knew that Jesus was taking care of them. It is exciting to hear and learn how Jesus takes care of us, isn't it? Next week's story is called Old Charlie. I wonder who that could be.